Okay.
All right. Hello, Gear Sluts. Welcome to AES 2008 in Amsterdam. We're all having a very good time. I think some people are having a much better time than others. That might be because of the city. It might not. I don't have anything to say on that. I am going to tell you about our new product, which is called the Mastering Backbone right there. It's meant to be kind of the backbone, the cornerstone of your entire mastering console. We've been building custom mastering consoles for the last 20 years for studios all over the world, and we decided that since we're too busy building everything else for people on our regular product line, that we don't really have time to keep doing the custom thing that much. So we're making a production version that incorporates some of the specific features that a lot of mastering engineers have asked for on their custom consoles. So to start out, on the left-hand side, we've got 3 inputs right over here. 1, 2, 3. Next to those, we've got some typical functions: left, right, reverse, which you probably know what it is. Gains, which when bypassed, as it is right now, makes the entire unit passive. So you don't have any input gain, you don't have any output gain, it just goes straight the way through.
Hard bypass? Or?
Yes, hard bypass. When they're in, you got plus and minus 6 dB on the inputs and plus and minus 6 dB on the outputs right here. So if you want to drive your gear harder or softer, you can use these guys right here. And these are the last step in the chain at the very end. Underneath gains, we've got this one right here, which reverses the polarity of the left and the right channels.
Yep.
Because occasionally some mixes will sound better when the speaker cone is moving either towards you or away at different points, and it can be a subtle distinction, but it makes a mix sometimes. So after that, we've got 8 inserts right here for your 8 favorite pieces of outboard gear, whether it be analog or digital, whatnot, whatever you like, you can put them all in here. It's all fully balanced. It's connected through Elcos or D-subs, which you specify when you order it initially. So we've got our Mu, our Massive Passive, our Mini Massive, and our Slam hooked up right now as a display for our rack, so people can basically hear each of these individually or in series. Now there's a couple of special things about these inserts. Inserts 2 and 3 can both be operated rather than in traditional left and right mode like you normally would. For example, we've got the Massive Passive on insert 2. So instead of this being the left channel and the right channel, when you select it and you hit sum difference right there, you get your sum and your difference. So you can independently process, whether it be an equalizer or a limiter or anything like that, you can process your mid and your sides independently of one another, and you can blend between the two with this switch right here. As with most of our mastering gear, these are all very high quality Gray Hill switches. They never break. This pot right here is a Penny & Giles. It's very expensive, completely sealed. It tracks perfectly between the 2 channels. It's really awesome. So that's inserts 2 and 3. Those are those 2 special because of MS processing. Inserts 4 and 5 are special because if both of these are selected, say you've got an EQ and a compressor. Hit that, all of a sudden you've got compressor before EQ. Take it out, you've got EQ before compressor again, so you can swap the order of them. Most mastering engineers, typically have a set signal path that they want their audio to take because, one device drives another one better. They like to see certain input impedances, things like that. But this allows you to experiment a little bit with your gear order like that. Inserts 6 and 7 aren't too special, besides they're just like the rest of them. Now, when you get into insert 8 and this mix fade button, you have to think about this section right up here. So to start, when this switch is all the way down, it's in fader mode, which means that this Penny & Giles is just a fader. That's all it is. Full open, full closed, whatnot. Pretty simple. You go into mix mode, and you hit this button, and all of a sudden what you've got is the ability to do parallel compression or parallel equalization or mix in a tiny little bit of convolution reverb or whatever you have on insert 8. When you're here, you're listening to the signal chain all the way through the end of 7, and as you turn this up, you're mixing in parallel.
Like blending in.
Exactly. Blending in whatever is on insert 8. So it's blending in that signal with the rest of it beforehand. So you can blend in as much as you want to and just change the overall color or texture of your entire mix. In mix difference, what you're doing is you're hearing the audio all the way through the end of insert 8, and it's taking the difference signal, or the out of phase, or the side, whatever you want to call it, from your input, and it's routing it all the way to here, and you can blend that in like this, effectively widening your sound stage. And obviously, as we like to say at Manley, we build guns, we don't pull triggers. This can be very dangerous if overused, caution, red tape, whatever. If you do it too much, your phase information is going to get completely messed up, and you won't be able to have any sort of point source localization in your sound field at all. But nonetheless, if you use it a little bit and sparingly, it can really widen the mix completely, especially if there's only a few instruments in it. That's really basically about it. The only other special thing is that we figured out a way to do MS fully balanced all the way through, so there's no converting back and forth between balanced and unbalanced, and then out to the gear, and then back, and all of that. It means it takes away about 70% of the electronics that are in most other MS boxes. And so this is a very clean unit. This plus and minus 6 dB on the ins and outs are new discrete op amps that we have that are very quiet and very colorless. This box is not meant to change anything about the way that your music sounds. It's only meant to let you use 8 pieces of outboard gear in creative ways in conjunction with one another. So this box won't change your sound.
Okay.
The rest of your gear that you're already used to using can just be chained together in interesting ways through this.
Price tag?
$4,300 US.
Oh, okay.
And this is serial number 000. This is the first one. The other ones are in production at the factory right now.
Okay.
So,
thank you very
buy
much.
gear sluts.